everyone, welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to be working on 3 fur studies using Carbothello pastel pencils. The first is brown wavy fur. The reference to this was a spaniel's ear. I start the underdrawing by blocking in my darkest shadows. I use black charcoal pencil and then move to a dark brown. I then block in where I can see the lighter fur. I then work over the whole piece using a brown mid-tone, and then I work in a caramel colour to pick up some of the colours on the most prominent waves of fur. At this stage, I'm concentrating on working in clumps of fur, not worrying about adding individual strands. I then blend everything out with a blending stump. Once everything is blended out, I repeat the process. I also make sure I'm overlapping my strokes so the clumps of fur look natural and blend together, rather than looking like lots of different clumps sitting next to each other. Once I've completed the second layer, I blend out really softly with a flat paintbrush. This gives a really soft finish to fur. I keep repeating my steps with the piece looking more refined and realistic with each layer. I'm constantly checking against my reference photo, concentrating on the length and direction of the fur. For the later layers, I concentrate on highlights and shadows. This will be the stage that I add any loose flyaway strands of fur. By creating fur this way, you gain the illusion of depth and texture. For this very final layer, I'm just increasing the contrast by adding some more black into the shadowed areas between the fur, and then adding some more loose flyaway wispy hairs in various colours so it doesn't look too uniform, as the reference photo for this piece was quite loose and wispy. For the second study, I've used a reference photo of a white poodle. The curls go in lots of different directions. White fur could be many different colours depending on the lighting or the environment. This piece was very grey, so I completed the process using the same steps I did before, working dark to light. I don't even add any white until the second layer. I use the same process of blending the first layer with a blending stump. The second layer will be where I really start to increase the contrast on this piece. I prefer to use a white charcoal pencil than a pastel. You get a much brighter white. I have links in the description below of all the products that I've used. I then blend the second layer with a paintbrush. My final layer is where I refine the piece and add more depth to my shadows. You can really see on these final layers that when you increase the shadows and the highlights is where the piece really starts to look three-dimensional. The final study is of a section of black Rottweiler fur. I looked this up on Pixabay and I zoomed in on a certain section. The piece transitions from dark to a highlighted section to a mid-tone. The fur for this is short, so my pencil strokes are much shorter. The darkest area has a blue tint, so I've worked in a layer of navy between the layers of black. As I move on to the highlighted area, I add a layer of black, then dark grey, another layer of black, followed by cream. As I move on to the mid-tone area, the fur gets longer and changes direction slightly, so I can change my pencil strokes. Once I'm happy I have enough pastel down, I use a blending stump to blend everything out. I'm also using a black charcoal pencil, as this gives a deeper black than pastel pencils. I'm being really careful to make sure the areas of transition between the dark to the highlighted areas is soft, so I'm working black into the grey and vice versa. I rarely use white in a black animal unless the animal's quite old, as this can make the animal look like it's prematurely gone grey and make it look older than it actually is. I really hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really helps my channel to grow, and I'd love to connect with you on social media. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.